I was just reading the tweets.
Yeah,
Matt Shaw goes, "Oh, I didn't think the competition was real."
Hello.
I'm like, what?
That's what we paid. Why we drafted this guy.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll do the first segment here. Here we go. Welcome to Sports Econ 101, the show where we discuss sports topics from a business perspective. I'm your host, Edward Brown, along with my co-host, well-known radio sports personality, Bruce McGowan.
It's wonderful to be here.
And Vern Glenn of CBS. Yeah, that's right. We're ready to focus on football.
That's right.
And let's see here. Today's show is going to be really special. You know why? Because
Why?
we're going to be talking football.
Yeah.
And at every commercial break, we're going to ask a sports trivia question. And the first 3 emails with the correct answer are going to win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort and Marina. The vacations are free. Their only request is a $75 cleaning fee to cover those housekeeping expenses.
My question is, when do I get to go to the Lighthouse?
Well, we'll take you there.
Okay.
How's that? Okay. And let's see here. Our trivia theme today is baseball records. We'll start getting into the football again, but this time we're going to do baseball records. And let's see, what else we got here? We got I know this is a national show. However, we want to talk a little bit about San Jose Sharks because they're coming to town. Don't miss your chance to experience NHL hockey when the Sharks battle the Canucks in preseason action on September 23rd, live at Stockton Arena. Get your tickets now at the Stockton Arena box office or at all Ticketmaster outlets. Stockton is Sharks territory.
You didn't
Yeah,
know
you
that?
hear that, Stockton?
Yeah.
All you fans listening in.
That's right.
I know. I'm
You run out of
surprised.
the tickets.
They were, they usually play in San Jose.
You didn't know this, but we're very popular in Stockton.
I just saw Patrick Marlowe the other day. He was making a little stop at a children's hospital, kind of a little hospital visits, giving the kids a thrill. And he says, "Hey, you know what? This is the time of year. Guys starting to slowly come back into town, work out a little bit, and they're all starting fresh. No C on the sweater of Jumbo, no A on his sweater as alternate captain. They're gonna just start a clean slate and."
Well,
Whatever happens, what happens.
They're still going to have to live down that. They're never going to live down the blowing that 3-0 lead in LA. The only good thing about that was LA won the championship.
Well, we're going to get into that when we get back.
Yeah.
We got a whole bunch of stuff to cover. So this segment of Sports Econ 101 is sponsored by Pacific Private Money, providing mortgage investments that are currently yielding 8%, secured by real estate. Doesn't get any more conservative than that. Check them out at pacificprivatemoney.com.
Dick Cheney would disagree with you.
Okay. You're listening to Sports Econ 101. And we are going to continue when we get back from these messages. How's that?
There you go.
That?
I like that.
Okay.
Very good. I like that. That's good.
Mr. Kramer. Hey, buddy.
How are you?
Good.
Guys?
You can remember the boys.
Hey, what's going on?
What's happening, man?
Hi.
All
Nice
right.
to see you.
Good to see you.
All right.
I just, I forgot. What time do you start filming this?
We do this at 3
We just-
p.m.
Yeah.
3 to 4, because he records the business show from 4 to 5. He's
Cool.
record a couple
I got here a little
hours
early to watch the old standbys here, the old sportscaster.
Oh, wow.
standbys.
I'm going to take you guys and listen a little bit.
We have a good time. Keep Edward in line.
Very much so.
I think you have a good time.
Yeah, so you got a little time. Go get ice cream, kick back.
Yeah.
Hey, how did
Yeah.
the Pacifics do on Sunday? Did they win the championship?
That's right. They were trying to win the second half.
Yeah. All they had to do was win one game at Pittsburgh and they'd win the championship. There wasn't going to be a playoff like last year. They had one game.
That's right.
You guys will love this. I just did a story on the 1970s Portland Mavericks baseball team.
Oh, yeah, with Jim Bouton.
With Jim Bouton.
Yeah.
I did a 1.5-minute story, almost 2-minute feature on him.
Blocking the camera.
Because
I realize you're blocking
the
the
second
camera.
baseman lives in
I
Milwaukee.
think I
That's
hold
his
on,
name.
that's okay.
His name is
Let me
Steve.
And
Mind if I
yeah,
listen
we
for
are.
a few minutes?
What's
And
Listen for a few minutes?
Of
so
course you
I
can.
hooked up with him at
a seat?
Ball Park, one of the baseball fields. Did
Right.
a little interview there, made
Oh,
a package
yeah.
out of it, and took some clips from the documentary.
Oh, cool.
Did you know that this documentary it debuted at the Sundance Film Festival and killed it.
Really?
Killed it. And then if you go on Rotten Tomatoes, which is like the big critic website, it gets 100%.
Whoa.
I've never seen that. I've never
Is
seen
it a good documentary?
Well,
Did you see it?
I saw most of it. I don't have a copy of it
You
myself.
probably get it on YouTube.
It's on Netflix.
Okay, Netflix.
What's everybody?
A lot of stuff
The
is
Battered Bastards of Baseball.
Oh.
And you know who's on that team? Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell,
And
the actor?
His dad, Bing Russell, was the owner.
That's right.
manager of the team.
Right. That's right. I remember his
that,
dad
yeah.
was the owner of the team. I do remember.
But
that.
but Steve Katz says, hey man, Kurt was he was a star at Double-A ball,
Wow.
and he blew out his shoulder.
What
But he
years?
said he could play, and he said, man, he could hit.
Was this all about this? Like several years or just one year?
This was the beginning in 1973 to the end in 1977.
Wow. That's like the
You know why he blew out his shoulder?
So they came in right after the Pacific Coast League pulled the Portland franchise out of town to move it to Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Then they came in, and then the Pacific Coast League wanted to get back into the market. They paid Bing Russell $200,000 to shut it down.
Wow.
You know why he hurt his shoulder?
Tell me why.
Because he was in that episode of Gilligan's Island. He played the Jungle Boy, and he must have been
Seriously?
swinging from tree to tree.
Seriously?
Well, I don't know if he blew his
No,
shoulder
that's
off.
not. That's not how.
You had me going there.
But
You had me
that
going.
was the same Kurt Russell.
I was the voice.
Gilligan's
Of
Island.
I was the TV voice of the Portland Beavers for 36 games in 1979. They were the AAA farm club, PCL club of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and we had Dale Berra, Pascual Perez, Rod Scurry, and all those guys were busted for drugs.
So when anybody was looking for Bruce McGowan in Portland, where is he? Oh, he's out chasing beavers. That's right.
Oh my God! Rod Scurry was
The
killed.
Portland Beavers.
Was killed by the. Wasn't killed by the cops. He got in a fight with cops on his front lawn. He was completely whacked out of his mind on PCP. But this was about 4 years after he got out of baseball, and he was trying to attack them with a samurai sword, and he was wearing nothing but a pair of thong underwear.
Mm.
And he all of a sudden, right in the middle of this attack, just fell over dead like that. Died of an aneurysm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pascual Perez was the famous guy who though drove around and around and around the stadium and never could find his way to Fulton County. Said, "I don't know how to get there." And it's like, take the exit. There's the stadium. Take the exit. I don't know how to do that. This is America. I don't, because he's from Cuba and he just got his driver's license, so he was like a little challenged. Poor Pascual. Nice guy too.
Now, when we cut back
Right.
from break, we were talking San Jose Sharks for a little
Yeah,
bit.
you were mentioning
So
Sharks.
you just
Just
mentioned
a
it, casually mentioned
But
it.
you were was
I'm
there
just saying
a
that
story?
Sharks really, going to have a tough time living down that first round playoff loss last year.
To the LA Kings.
Yeah, because even though the Kings won the championship, that's still just.
You want to mention that again?
Yeah, if you want to get into it.
Yeah, all right,
whatever.
okay. Well, we gotta go.
I say we move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Nobody, who cares about the
Yeah.
Sharks?
I mean, it's-
as Ron Barr would say, nobody cares.
Camp's not till October. Go ahead.
Can I do a Ron Barr reference? I'll go, you know what Ron Barr would say? Nobody cares! No, Ron, here's what I'd say. You don't care!
let's not do that on the
No,
yeah,
Ron will
'cause
find out about it.
Yeah, he'll get pissed off.
He'll get pissed off. You don't want to get Ron pissed off.
Nah. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm trying to remember not to say welcome back
You guys
because
also
I.
come back and say, "We're-"
Just say, hey,
That's
Sports
what kids-
Econ 101
I know, it's
continues.
Continues. As LBJ used to say. Let us-
My favorite is when I go to break. You're listening to Sports Econ 101.
There you go.
Both.
It's
Perfect. That's a Bob Agnewism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had something here.
I
I
know,
actually
okay.
said. See, I get the wrong thing. Here. Okay.
I do that
All
all
right.
the
Here
time.
we go.
Okay. Glenn says I do it all
Sports Econ 101 continues with Edward Brown, Vern Glenn,
Mhm.
and Bruce
the time.
McGowan.
Yes, sir.
All right, now let's get right into this. We're talking football.
Yep.
So first of all, let's talk a little bit about Michael Sam getting cut from the Rams.
Yeah, where's he going to go? You think somebody's going to pick him up? Vernon, what do you
He is
think?
going to be a Dallas Cowboy. In fact, by the
Is that right?
by the time this show goes hot,
Uh-huh.
he could be in the uniform of the Dallas
So
Cowboys.
he'll face the Niners this weekend.
Yeah,
Maybe.
he would be on the practice
Okay.
squad.
Was
But-
he that? I thought he was supposedly. I didn't think he had he was a shoe-in to make the team, but I thought he had a pretty good shot of making it. What happened?
You know, there was a theory that ESPN kind of killed everything
That's
because
right.
they built him up, and which was nice, so that everybody knew him. But then once he joined the Rams, everything went silent because it was all about football. Yeah, and then Josina from ESPN
That was
reported
tacky.
from there.
What was
And
that all about?
I have no
I
idea.
mean,
And I-
ESPN lost a lot of. In my book, they lost a lot of
but let me
credibility.
but let me tell you
Yeah.
let me tell you how it works.
Okay.
You got a bunch of eager producers back, and I'm not just saying not just in Bristol, but this could be in every
Sure.
TV station. These are these young, hungry, like jittery,
Yeah.
no attention span producers,
Caffeinated, highly caffeinated.
and they're in these reporters' ear, and they're like, "Hey, bring this up, or bring this up," or they're having production meeting. Hey, you got to hammer it. How's he fitting in? Blah, blah, blah. And so these things, it may look off the cuff, but these things are well thought out and well choreographed and planned out. Even some of the ad libs are, and I'm sure Josina did not do that on her own. There were a lot of cooks in the kitchen when that subject.
Well,
matter
she should
came
have had better judgment though, and told him, "Hey, look, I'm not going to do this."
Yeah,
she's just.
yeah,
as far as I'm concerned, her career has really got a black mark on her.
No, but she's young and she's new and she's doing what they're. Yeah, but Bruce.
But that's why they shouldn't put young people on the air like that if they don't have the credibility.
No, but Bruce, when you're standing there, I mean, you got a 1-year contract. I mean, you got to do what they tell you to do.
I guess.
You know,
but isn't there a different way to do it? Maybe just say, "Hey, how is he fitting in?"
Yeah.
No, that's what the anchor asked. He said, "How is he fitting in?"
And she mentioned the
didn't-
shower.
And so it was just. Well, you didn't see it. Anyway, she was on the live shot,
Yeah.
and she's the one that brought up the fact that, in the shower, there's a question as to, who goes in, or does he wait until everybody's showered before he goes in? It was a really uncomfortable thing to watch.
Yeah, it was, and I would think that I can't remember who was anchoring back at Bristol, but whoever it was should have just either shut it. Of course, it was a live show; they couldn't shut it off.
It was live. Yeah,
but maybe there was a way he could have kind of deflected her off in a different direction, but he just kept. He kept along the same lines. I just thought, come on.
He didn't.
Oh, he did. I thought he did.
He asked one question.
Okay.
How is he fitting in?
And that's how it went.
And then she went off for about a minute, tossed it back, and then they moved on.
Okay, so that's when she mentioned the shower thing.
Yeah, but it's getting a lot of press though.
Oh yeah. That's typical though.
So when he got cut from the Rams, he went through all the other 31 teams. Everybody passed on him, did not pick him up, and so he became officially a free agent, available to negotiate with any team. And so that's when the Dallas Cowboys, brought him in for a look-see and then put in the physical.
Well, sacking Manziel kind of put a little tick mark next to his name. He looked pretty good, but again, the Rams say that they just had too many linebackers.
I'm curious though.
Well, when you're building your 53, you got so many inside linebackers. Some play the jack, some play the Mike, and the rest of them are in special teams. But there's a quota that you have there to build your team, and he just got caught up in a numbers game.
Hey, Brennan, relating to this, not to get off topic, but I'm curious. Now, you've been an anchor and a field reporter for years.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, without naming names, get anybody into trouble? Have you had young people sort of in your ear to go after this guy? Ask him this question. You had to say, hey, don't worry about it. I'll ask the right question. I don't need that kind of direction from you. It's
not happened to me personally, and I really have seen it a lot of times on the national stage. And it's funny, the bigger the market and the bigger the station, the more cooks in the kitchen, and the more people that are just in your. You would not. I'm not going to name any names, but it is unbelievable to me how there are certain directors and producers out there that have to see everything that you're going to say. They want you to write down everything that you're going to say so they can follow it along. And if you don't, then they're just lost in the control room, like deer in a headlight. Whereas the more seasoned directors, the more seasoned producers, they're not so much listening exactly to what you say, but they're looking at the clock because you got to be out at a certain time.
But you're not going to be reading a script. So how are you supposed to? You say, okay, I'll touch on this subject, this one.
No, because when you do a newscast, the anchor has this script, the producer has this script, the director has this script, and you just follow along because that's just kind of how the way it is, and everything's timed to the second.
But when you're doing your stand-ups, you're not reading from a script, though.
No. If I'm live, I'm doing a stand-up. The anchor tosses to me, and then I take it, and there is some sort of form bullet points out there that I'm going to cover. But there just has to be an element of trust that I'm going to hit those marks and get out at a certain time.
I was going to say, how do they do that? Is there someone cueing you as to you have 15 seconds left?
In TV, there's a thing called a roll cue, and a roll cue is what I'm going to say to tip off the director. That's when he wants the video rolled.
Right.
So I'm out there, I'm like, hey, boy, I was in San Rafael and I was taping a show, and boy, you would not believe what Edward Brown had to say. So the director's like, okay, he just said Edward Brown had to say.
Yeah.
So the video rolls, and then and there you see the three of us at the microphone, and we're taping the show. And when Edward Brown said this, it was unbelievable. Bam! And then that's the roll cue to the sound, the sound bite.
But what about
When I said unbelievable, then a separate tape rolls of the sound bite that Edward Brown said, and then when it comes, and then at the end of the sound bite, then I'm live outside of the building in San Rafael, kind of wrapping it up and tossing it back.
I was gonna say when you got to know when you got to wrap it up to send it back to the studio. So
There's a producer in your ear. He's telling you 15 seconds. He's telling you okay when you need to wrap and toss back.
Yeah.
So there's that kind of you don't hear it, but I do.
Yeah, that's what I had. When I was in San Francisco, when I was doing live,
Mhm.
a lot easier to say. Okay, 1 minute. Let's go. Okay, good. Makes it a little easier. Here we've got some heartbreaks and some soft ones here. Okay, moving on here. Let's see. Okay, get this. Japanese high school pitcher throws 50 innings. He threw 709 pitches.
Through 50 innings, like
in over 4 days. It was one game that lasted 4 days.
well, they just kept playing.
Yeah, they
playing,
kept playing. It's just
and they kept him in the game.
0-0. Yeah.
That's a fast track to Tommy
Yeah,
John
well,
surgery.
and it says here the coach felt that it would strengthen his arm.
Oh,
What?
right.
That's what they
right.
said. And the
What are
other
these guys
pitcher
thinking?
pitched 689 pitches.
Well, no wonder all these young guys are having Tommy John surgery.
That's it exactly. The pitchers in the Japanese pitchers specifically in Major League, if they've been pitching all that time the way they have been with kids, a few of them are getting
It's
hurt
almost
already.
a rite of passage for young pitchers now to have the Tommy John. The Giants brought up this young guy named Strickland the other day. He's throwing the ball 100 miles an hour, and he posts a picture on his locker of his arm before the operation and his arm during the operation, just to let himself know that pain is temporary, but pride is forever. I mean, I guess that's the way he motivates himself.
Speaking of Giants pitchers, how about Brett Bochy?
Yeah, that's right.
Getting called up.
The manager's son is getting called up.
Yeah, he's a relief.
Yeah.
27-year-old relief pitcher playing at AAA Fresno gets the call up to
Yeah.
play for his dad.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's a
That'd be
good.
awesome,
That's a
right?
good trivia question. How many players have played for their dad? Dale Barra played for Yogi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he? I think he
I believe Brett Boone played
Yeah.
for Bob
That's
Boone.
right. Bob Gunn.
Then we got Moises Alou playing
Oh,
for
yeah,
Felipe
for his
Alou
dad, sure.
with the Giants in 2005.
Yeah.
You got Cal Ripken Jr.
Right.
and
Yeah,
Billy
exactly.
Ripken
Billy
Yeah.
Ripken.
playing
both
for
of them.
Cal Sr.
Senior,
for the Orioles. I was there. That year.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to cut to our first commercial break here. And again, the theme is baseball records. Which player became the first to win 3 batting titles in 3 different decades?
Wow.
Good
Ooh,
question,
that's a
huh?
good question.
All right, the first 3 emails with the correct answer are going to win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Email Edward at sportsecon101.com the answer to this question. Which player became the first to win 3 batting titles in 3 different decades? All right.
Modern era, or are we talking way back when?
No, I'd say modern.
Modern era.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And don't touch that dial because Sports Econ 101 will continue with Edward and Vern and Bruce.
America, you're listening to Sports Econ 101.
I
Right.
like that.
Yes.
I like that.
And I haven't a clue. I can't think of who that might
My guess would be George Brett. Yes.
Is Don Sharp still?
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah.
Don Sharp's
He's a
still
great
there,
guy.
still going strong. He's
a great
he's
guy.
my man. He's the one that gave him my gear, gave him my car,
be. Is the guy Capex?
gave him my laptop to edit on. Yeah, but he used to be a cron in the same
Oh,
capacity.
really? So you guys
This
both
is-
sort of followed
this
each other
is
over
just
to Capex.
Well, he went to Capex during the first migration
Oh.
in 2000, and then I jumped aboard a couple years ago.
What is
But,
Daria Folsom like? She seems like kind of a sassy.
Daria is she's a little 5'0" spitfire, full of energy.
crack up,
She's
though,
she's
there.
like a dude.
Yeah.
It's obvious that she's the youngest of a bunch of brothers.
I love it. The other day she was getting on Gary because Gary said something controversial and she just sort of got on him and Gary wouldn't back down and she wouldn't back down and finally she goes, "Oh, Gary, we can be friends, can't we?"
Mhm.
Gary, I could see Gary was getting pissed off. Gary's kind
God, I
of.
wonder what this is.
I'll go
Jeez.
It was on that. It was on
Was that-
YouTube.
You go over to-
Really?
Yeah, it was a YouTube thing. It was pretty funny. And Lieberman picked it up and ran it on his little.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, man.
Thanks
Good
for
seeing you.
letting me be the
All right,
audience.
Yeah.
See you later, buddy.
All right, bud.
Okay.
Lieberman seems to think
There we
Corral is going to take over for Ron Owens. I don't think so.
God, I don't think he's that good.
Steve Carell?
That would be a bad move.
Really, Carell is okay, but he just
He's
just
irritating.
beats you over the head with the whole gay thing. Gay.
Just too
Gay,
much.
he's gonna get, oh man.
I think he gives
like
gay
this
people a
shit.
bad name.
Man, he just really, God, he just.
Is he gay?
Man.
He's very
Oh my God.
blatantly so, and he'll let you know it.
Yeah, see that? Yeah, I don't like that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
He's a big husky guy too. He looks like a weightlifter. Like, so he's kind of like the butch.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, and I guess we have to pause because there's some silly football game. What are the Niners playing?
Oh, he hates
hates sports. Just hates it.
We have our producer named
Ah.
we have our producer named Milt Baker. Real nice guy, but he hates sports. And whenever I do a sports update on Saturdays, it's a little long. He goes, Bruce, you went a little too long with that sports update. That's a minute 45.
Another gay guy?
Yeah. He goes, that's a minute 45. That's too long. That's got to be a minute 30. I said, no, on the weekends.
Yeah,
Who
really.
cares?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
come on. And there's a lot of sports going on the weekends.
Yeah,
He goes,
just a
I'm,
little.
and he's the only producer that does that. Weekdays, if I go a minute 45, nobody gives a shit.
Wow.
So it's like, all right, man, whatever.
Okay, guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sports Econ 101 continues with your host, Edward Brown, along with Vern Glenn
Mhm.
and Bruce McGowan.
Yes, sir.
I gotta get used to that intro again.
Yeah, it's very nice, very slick.
Very slick. Okay.
Yeah.
Here is our first commercial break trivia question. Again, the theme is baseball records. Which player became the first to win 3 batting titles in 3 different decades?
Well, I was going to say, I don't know, but I think Vern has an answer to this one.
Well, I just guessed. I was going to guess George Brett.
And you would guess correctly.
Wow.
How about
Good.
that?
Yeah,
Woo!
very good.
Showing a left
You
field.
hear that? Wow!
Yeah!
Woo!
That's what I'm talking about.
1976, 1980, and 1990.
Wow.
Very
One
good.
time, San Jose B, I believe.
Is that right? And he's
Yeah.
also born on my birthday.
That's all right.
He was born. I was a year old when he was born. So he's exactly a year younger than me.
Well, my business partner has the exact same birthday and year as Barry Bonds.
Interesting,
Is that
24th,
right?
1964.
interesting
Yeah.
story about George Brett. He had to miss a game in the playoffs in 1980, the year that they lost in the World Series to Philly because he had hemorrhoids.
Oh, I remember that.
And then he was interviewed right before the World Series that year. They said, "How's your hemorrhoids?" He goes, "I took it, you know what, this morning and feel okay."
Ah.
God, I mean, I can't imagine like having to miss playing because of that.
It's
That
very,
must have
very,
been
very
painful, man.
You ever had hemorrhoids?
Thank goodness no.
When I was working,
joke about it, the thing is, it's like your insides coming out or
it's not
something.
fun.
It's nasty
It's
stuff.
nasty. I had it when I was in network radio because I was under a lot of pressure, and it was painful.
Oh, so you have had them.
Well, that was like when I was 28, so that was like 50
And how
years
did you,
ago.
I mean, getting a little personal here, how'd you get them?
Just from stress.
I think he's
Yeah.
brought on by stress.
Like hernia sometimes.
A hernia or like a
So it
ulcer.
sounds like a cold sore, sty,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Just
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, just nasty.
Yeah, I can't imagine running around bases with
Oh.
Or sliding into bases.
head first.
Head first,
Head
yeah.
first, yeah. You
Don't
gotta-
slide on your derriere.
Yeah.
Oh.
Everything they teach you. Did you see a couple of those slides? Or actually, it was one specific slide, and I'm trying to remember who it was. Where he did, they called it the not the reach around, but the circular one.
Oh,
where
okay.
basically sliding head first into home.
Right, and he
You can see
reaches back.
he kind of takes his arm, moves it back because he can see the catcher is going to
Oh,
tag him.
Matt Kemp just did it.
Yeah,
Matt
and-
Kemp,
and
yeah,
he just
he
reaches-
slid. The catcher went to apply the tag, and he went like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Touchdown play.
Great
We're
Yeah,
safe.
awesome. I mean,
Matt Kemp did it at the Dodgers. Yeah.
To think
Yeah.
of that
Have the
as
presence
you're
of mind
doing
to do that. It's not easy. No.
it. Now,
It's a real art to it.
well, and the A's, I think it was Sogard, if I'm not mistaken, should have some. Usually you don't slide into first,
Right.
but you do if the first baseman jumps up in the air to
Yeah.
hit the ball.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm trying to remember who he played, but they jumped up in the air, and the first baseman literally, Poole. Wait, was it Poole? No. Anyway, he reached to the side and tagged him
I
as
saw
he was
that. I
going.
remember that. Yeah.
But I'm trying to who was the first baseman who did that?
Don't remember.
If it was
Kind
the
of a big guy.
if it was the Angels, it'd be Albert Pujols.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, see.
Yeah.
It was Pools. Yeah.
Imagine little kids having a lot of fun with Albert Pujols and that last name. How's that guy's name pronounced? Pujols. Pujols. Poor Albert. I hope he grew up in. I hope he didn't have to grow up in the United States because if he did, he probably got just
He
dinged by.
did. Yeah.
Where's he from originally? Anyway, Albert Pujols. He's from Venezuela.
He's one of the Dominican
Dominican
Central
guys.
Dominican. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so last time we kind of touched on this a little bit, but the NFL wants Super Bowl halftime acts to pay instead of being paid.
What?
Yeah.
That's absurd. Why should they have to pay anything?
Well, because it's all the exposure. They think it's worth $100 million.
The NFL doesn't make enough money.
Minutes.
The NFL doesn't make enough money
Of
already.
course
That's not going to fly.
That's ridiculous.
That will not.
I mean, it's one thing.
Is that's just a proposal?
Nobody.
That's just a proposal, right? Who came up with that
Well,
harebrained idea?
I don't know how much they would do it, but they were talking about. Okay, it's 12 minutes is basically the halftime.
Who's going to do that? You
But
think some big name?
Whose idea was?
Yeah.
Somebody had to put their name by it.
Yeah.
Someone had to. I don't know. Just as the NFL.
But they're not going to get it. If they do that, they're not going to get any high class entertainment because high class entertainers don't need to pay.
Yeah, but they also don't have that kind of money either, because no one's going to pay $100 million, but
No.
$4 million for a 30-second commercial,
way.
it would work out to be that.
Yeah,
But
that's absurd.
yeah, I thought that was kind of crazy.
The No Fun League.
Well, they said here, yeah, exactly. Coldplay, Katy Perry, and Rihanna are being considered. Of course, didn't say that they're considering paying, just that they're being considered. So
It's like being in contact with somebody going, hey, we've given you the blah 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 of the year award. Okay, well, you'll have to pay for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's like I got contacted by who's who, and suddenly it was like, I think it's such a joke. Honestly, who's who in finance and industry, who's
And
who in
then they
economics.
want you to pay for it.
Not necessarily, but they basically will tell you you get in for free, and you give the information. But if you want to buy the book.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ben.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So one time, I was 22 years old or something, and I got into the finance industry, and sure enough, they did publish it. I just went to the library and
Check it out.
and they did put it in there. But then I realized, what did I do? I was 22 years old. I just got out of college, and I'm in who's who. I go, something so right about this.
Strange.
I thought that was kind of funny.
That is funny.
Okay, so reading a little bit of a thing here. Also, now the Cowboys apparently are worth $3.2 billion.
Isn't that amazing?
Okay.
That's
New England comes in second at $2.6 billion. But guess who's in third? This
The
kind of
Washington
surprised-
Redskins?
Yes.
Yeah.
Washington, yeah.
That's
Washington
surprising.
Redskins.
It's kind of surprising me.
Where are the
because
49ers?
I don't know, but they weren't even fourth.
They're like, are they even top 10? The Niners?
I only have the top four:
Yeah.
Redskins and then New York Giants. But it's got to be just strictly the fan base, because the Redskins weren't too good the last several years.
I'd like to know how I'd like to
Value
know the breakdown of how they come with the value of. Is it merchandise sold? Is
That's a
it?
good question.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only
Washington D.C. is, I think, a bigger market than the Bay Area, isn't it? At number 5, I think.
Number 8.
Oh, what's number 5?
Number 5.
Because Philly is number 4.
Philly is 4. Then San Francisco's 5.
San Francisco's 5.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because you can only sell so many RG3 T-shirts.
If San Francisco's number 5, why is Oakland always considered like a small market? It's a part of the number 5 market.
It
How could
is.
it be?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
it's all incorporated. It's Oakland, San Francisco, San Jose,
Speaking
and
of
that's how they come up with the 5.
Speaking of the most ridiculous things, this is off topic. But did you hear that the Giants' first win in that suspended game the other day does not count as part of their winning streak?
It does not.
Because
May.
the game was
Yeah.
originally played
May
in
22nd.
Now here's the interesting thing. Andrew Susak, a rookie, got a base hit in this game and scored the go-ahead run. But that counts as a base hit back in May. But he wasn't with the team in May.
No, he wasn't.
So does that mean that is his first career hit, even though he got his first career hit over a month ago?
I don't know. Boy, you're
Is
in
that
the
crazy?
gray area there. But,
That
I mean,
is so nuts.
but there were a lot of Rockies that weren't in the game either.
No,
Like
that's true.
Tulowitzki was gone. A whole bunch. Cargo
Well,
was gone.
it doesn't matter. When
Yeah.
they got traded to a different team, you got to call them back. Leave your team and come play for us.
That's right. Come play for us.
Well, wasn't there like back in the old days, Ty Cobb and Maple Joy, they messed around with the records?
Oh yeah.
They
Well,
played Ty Cobb, so they gave it to
yeah.
Maple Joy.
The team that was facing Ty Cobb walked it 4 times, and then they served pitches up to Nap LaJoy. His teammates, Cobb's teammates, to Nap LaJoy, they gave him meatballs over the plate so he could get base hits, and he barely got the title. He won the title, but barely, like by 1 point.
But wasn't there something too? They were taking points. They were taking like a base hit away.
They did take a hit away at the end of the year, and that was one of the reasons why he did not win the batting title.
Yeah.
Cobb was a hated man. He was a vicious racist. He didn't get along with anybody on his team. He would that's any kind of personal slight. He felt that he'd been slighted. He would attack you physically. He went after a butcher once in in the because he said that you sold me some spoiled meat, and the guy argued with him, and he attacked the guy he took his pistol out and pistol whipped him. And
Wow.
two guys made the mistake of climbing on the running boards of his car once when he was at a stop sign to try to rob him. He knocked them both off the car, pulled the car over, chased one guy down the alley, and took the guy's knife away from him and slashed him up and left him because I left him bleeding and dead in the corner there. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it either. Cop was like, he was a nasty guy.
Listen, someone tries to rob you, I say, go ahead, go for it.
I left him dying and slashed and bleeding in the alleyway.
Yeah, the thing is about baseball, though, it is kind of a team sport, and I'm wondering if maybe he was just kind of upset because he was only on one decent team.
He was on he was on three good teams.
They kept losing the World Series.
Yeah, they always lost the World Series. Yeah.
Remember, there was a thing about between him and Hannes Wagner, and there was a question about whether or not he went in spikes first.
He actually, I think he got to play with the Philadelphia A's when they were on a World Series too, but that was late in his career. He was kind of over the hill. But he played till he was 43.
Yeah.
Interesting story about him too. He had a running feud with Pacific Gas and Electric Company because he thought they were overcharging him, so they shut the power off to his house. So he ran a line from his neighbor's house to his house so he could have some lights.
So he's the original guy who was stealing electricity.
Oh,
we all have to, we all benefit from
that movie that Tommy Lee Jones
Yeah.
started. That is not an exaggeration. That's the kind of guy he was.
He did a very good job.
Oh, he was terrific.
So I've mentioned this before in the show, and I just have to mention it again because it's one of my favorite lines from the movie. You know, when he's, I think he's in Vegas, and this is like 1960.
He's an old man.
Yeah, he's an old man. He's like 71 years old or something, right? And so hey, we got the great Ty Cobb here, and it brings them up, and they say, hey, Ty, what do you think about these pitchers nowadays? And a bunch of pansies. Really? Well, what do you think you hit? Yeah, about 280. He goes, 280? Well, you were a 365 lifetime here. That's not that great. He goes, I'm 71 years old. What do you expect? Okay, and with that, we will cut to our second commercial break. And again, the theme is baseball records. Okay, so
we're having too much fun here.
We are. Vern is 1 for 1.
Good job, Vern.
Let's see if
I can stop now. I quit well.
No. You got to go 2 more questions here. All right. You can't pull you got to be like Ted Williams, right? You bat 400, you still have to go the rest of the time.
That's right.
All right. Eddie Collins was the first infielder to have 3,000 hits.
That's right.
Who was the second infielder to accomplish this feat? The first 3 emails with the correct answer. What do they win? A free 3-day 2-night stay at Lighthouse Resort. Email Edward at sportsecon101.com. The answer to this question. Eddie Collins was the first infielder to have 3,000 hits. Who was the second? All right. Don't touch that dial.
Modern day or yesteryear, I must ask.
I'd say modern day.
Modern day.
Modern day. Okay. All right. Don't touch that dial because we're going to continue with Sports Econ 101.
You're listening to Sports Econ 101.
Right here. So modern day, huh? When you say modern day, any time in the last 20 years?
I'd say any time after 1910.
Oh,
No, I'm not kidding.
God.
Did they even have infielders back then? You would consider it modern.
Okay, so during our lifetimes.
During our lifetimes.
Okay. Who could it be?
I don't know. I'm so old. That goes back to the dead ball era.
That goes back to the 60s for me. When I first year I started watching baseball was 1960. I mean, I really started watching baseball. I went to my first game in 58, 59, but I didn't really get into it until 60. I just guess it were the days, though.
Oh, yeah.
If you couldn't get into baseball when Willie Mays was playing, you were not into baseball.
That's I totally agree. Yeah, I love
Willie Mays. In those days, there were only 9 games a year on the TV, so you'd listen to the games on the radio. And we had Lon and Russ, and they were just, they were great. They were only together for 10 years, but they were great.
That's why my dad didn't like Lon Simmons because he keeps making mistakes.
Who's that?
My dad used to say that. But
Really?
I love listening to Lon.
Such a nice guy. He's not doing too well, by the way.
Well, remember we tried to get him on.
He probably was taking a nap.
Did you ever hear back from him?
No.
Yeah, he's probably just doesn't want to do it.
I mean, he's at a point where it's like if he's up to it, you know.
Yeah. I think he'll probably last for another year, but when I saw him last time, he did not look good. He was all. I saw him from the rear, and I thought, who is this guy? He looks. And then he turns around and it's Lon. Oh my God! I said, Lon, are you okay? He goes, no, I'm not okay. So.
Well, he's 90.
Yeah, he's
aging.
He's had a good life.
I mean, my mom. I told you my mom passed.
Yeah, that happened. When did that happen?
Wednesday. Wednesday, August 20th. So it's been
Wow.
It's almost 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, she went downhill on Sunday night, and then boom, boom, boom.
Well, it's probably a
Wow.
Which
blessing.
is best.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to choose it,
Yeah, my dad took him like.
took it too long.
Yeah, it took him way
And my
too long.
dad was like 53, boom, heart attack in the office.
Oh,
no
my
one got to
God.
say goodbye. No one got to say I love you. And, so,
53. That's too young.
oh yeah.
53.
Well, let's see. A little bit overweight, not too much. Smoked
Oh.
too much. No exercise and bad diet, and a lot of stress.
Oh, that's the terrible
come on.
troika.
Yeah.
Terrible triad.
That's quite a cocktail.
Yeah, that's a toxic cocktail.
All right. Trying to get some people here. Yeah, I got some other good stuff here. Okay.
All right. Last segment, right? Or no, 2 more.
Second and the last one. This is Sports Econ 101 is continuing here. Edward Brown, your host, along with Vern Glenn
Hi,
and
hi.
Bruce McGowan.
Good to be here.
When we cut to the second commercial break, we asked this trivia question. Eddie Collins was the first infielder to have 3,000 hits. Who was the second infielder to accomplish this feat?
Cal Ripken Jr.?
No, that's not a bad
I
guess.
thought I had thought about guessing that.
No, this guy started before Cal Ripken.
Rogers Hornsby?
No.
More recent.
Yeah,
Infielder,
more recent.
3,000 hits. Wow.
Louis Saporiccio?
No,
No, it's got to be
he played for the Angels and the Twins. Come on, now you know.
Angels and the Twins.
Armin Killebrew.
No.
Angels and the Twins.
Come on.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tony Oliva. No, he's not there.
No.
Rod Carew.
Rod Carew.
Rod
Carew,
Carew,
of
of
course.
course. Yeah,
Rod
and
Carew.
Rod Carew never got to play, I don't think, in a World Series. Did he?
No, I
don't think
he
he
was
did.
lucky. I don't even know if he was lucky enough to play a playoff game.
Yeah,
He was just one of those unlucky guys.
Yeah. Very unpleasant individual, by the way.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I interviewed him once. He was just like, now I hear he's real nice, but he did not like the media. I went up to him once and I thought, oh, this is great. I get a chance to interview Rod Carew. He looks at me and goes, what do you want?
Oh man, that's.
Oh.
And I just said, well, I just would like to do an interview. For who? And I said, well, it's for this radio network out in New York. Which one? I don't like that radio network. And I said, well, I said, I have 3 radio networks I work for. He says, name them. And I gave him the names of all 3. He goes, I don't like any of them. Go away.
Wow.
Wow.
I said, well, which one do you like, and I'll go work for them. Just give me the freaking interview.
Yeah. The only guy who's been worse than him, well, 2 guys. Kirk Gibson, who screamed at me and used the F word, and also disrobed in front of a woman and shook his you-know-what, and said, is this what you came to see, Lisa? Is this what you came to see? Seriously.
Sorry.
I know, it sounds so it's ridiculous, it's absurd. And the other guy was Albert Bell, and Albert Bell once, he was sitting there kind of glowering. And after a game, after he had a great game, they won the game, he's sitting there in the Indians clubhouse, and I go up to Albert, you got a minute? Wait a minute. Albert, you have a minute? Albert, what are you saying? What part of no don't you understand?
Well, there you go.
Wow.
Now I hear the word no.
What's been the worst experience you've had, Vern?
Man, wow. God, I don't remember. In sports, I don't remember being
Never
blown
had
off
no?
quite like that. Wow, that was, and being mean about it.
I had Reggie Jackson once say something really funny to me. I was asking him, he got a base hit in his last at bat as an Oakland A, and I said, how did it feel to get a base hit in your last at bat? It was pretty good. It felt pretty good. I said, so your last at bat in the big leagues? I didn't say that. I said, well, the season's over. You're not coming back next year. I'm not announcing anything to you. You're a nice fellow, but I'm not announcing to you. I have a reason for that. I said, well, I can understand that. Thank you. When I do make my decision to announce my retirement, you'll be the first MF I call.
Wow.
And I had to laugh. I said, Reggie, that's good. I got to say that one. I sent that to the networks, by the way. They ran all the underground, producers.
I got blown up by the great Eartha Kitt.
Eartha
I
Kitt
remember
blew
you
off?
told that story.
Eartha
That was
Kitt,
fun.
yeah, she came to Cron to be on the morning show, and I was big, still am big Batman TV series fan, and so I'm like, wow, Eartha Kitt's here, man, wow, Catwoman, man, Eartha Kitt, wow, let me go up and say hi.
Yeah.
So I run upstairs, I get within 10 feet of her, and she's like sitting there, and I go, Eartha Kitt, man, I'm just a huge fan. And before I get the word fan out, it'd be yes.
Whoa.
Held up her hand and everything.
You know
like
she wasn't even the best Catwoman
almost
either.
like talk to the hand. It was like,
Jeez.
like
She
wow.
Is that the way she treated her fans?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to put my personal opinion. Wasn't it Julie Newmar who played
I
the
love
one?
Julie
That's
Julie
the-
Newmar.
Newmar, she was a really good
She
cat.
was, she was in the show with Robert Cummings called My Living Doll. You remember that show?
No.
Where she played an automaton that was owned by Robert Cummings, and she was like the housekeeper, sort of like his companion.
Yeah.
But she was not a human. She
No,
was my living doll. Julie
Wow.
Newmar. She had those big cat eyes.
Yeah, they had to
Yeah.
custom make her cat suit because
Yeah.
she's 6 feet tall.
Julie Newmar, yeah.
And she would have remained Catwoman on the TV series, but she was shooting a movie at the time that production began, and it was a conflict.
Yeah, there was a rumor that she was actually a transsexual. That she was a guy at one time, but that was just
You
Hollywood.
can tell by the hands
Yeah.
and by the Adam's apple.
That's right.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Now, a non-robot.
How do we get off on this
Yeah,
topic?
no, but I was just saying, a non-robot person
Right.
who would be like that,
Sure.
I would have thought would be I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, I
Oh,
love
Barbie
Barbie.
Eden.
Barbie,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Love Barbie. And now, from what I understand, I've talked to some people who have met her, that she's just a delight.
Is she?
She's
Wow.
an absolute delight.
And she still looks good.
Still looks good in her 70s.
I was gonna say she's gotta be 70 something.
76.
Can you imagine being?
I just would love her giggle as she
Oh,
got
yeah.
twinkle her nose to make something happen.
She and
Yeah.
No,
she,
no,
you know,
you're not talking about Bewitched.
No, I'm talking about Jeannie. She was like, you know,
Twinkle her
think
nose
of
and-
something,
yeah.
something to do for
Mischievous.
Major Nelson. Have this
Oh,
mischievous little
okay,
girl.
yeah, where she
Yeah,
put
they-
her
You know,
eyes
that
in,
she
yeah.
and Larry Hagman actually had a little thing going on.
Did they really?
Yes, they did.
Ah, look
Like
at
a
that.
lucky guy, lucky
Yeah,
guy.
lucky guy.
Didn't Florence Henderson get on with somebody on the Brady Bunch? Florence?
And that's another good
One,
one.
one, one,
Oh,
one,
no, you know what it was? I heard that Greg, the older one,
Yeah.
had a crush on her.
Okay.
Yeah, but
But she
I
kept it clean. I understand. That's
Oh,
what I
did
heard.
she keep it
And
going?
here's another good coupling. How about Diana Rigg and Patrick McNee in the Avengers?
Oh,
They had a little
yeah.
thing going.
Oh, did they
Yeah.
really?
Yes, they did.
Oh, I liked her.
Yeah.
And the other one was Anne Francis, Honey West.
Honey
Remember that?
West. Oh, I loved her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked her.
And
Yeah.
going back to the Batman thing, you know, I used to love all the Burt Ward, Robin stuff
Right.
he'd come
Yep.
up with. And I still remember, you know, a little blow dart thing hits him in the arm, and he's all, "Holy D'Artagnan, Batman!"
D'Artagnan. I
Oh,
love
fun stuff. Okay,
All
back to sports. Hey, Kevin Love to the Cavs. What do you guys think?
it. I love it.
automatically the best team in
Yeah.
the Eastern Conference.
Although they
You
did
get-
give up a good young player, but hey, if you can get Kevin Love and LeBron on your team, and they got some other good players too.
Yeah,
remember?
Ray Allen may jump
Yeah.
aboard.
Yeah.
Hey,
You know, I
it's
love
good
Ray,
players,
but I
man.
think he's getting a little bit too old now.
Who's that?
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen?
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if he's.
I love that
having a
movie.
good
Was it Love and
Dude,
Basketball?
hey, you know what? If you can shoot,
Yeah, he's
you
good
got
shot.
a job for a while.
What
you
was
know?
the movie he did? Was it Love and Basketball? He was in a movie. He played a
Yeah.
basketball player. He was very good.
Yeah.
He was a
No,
very
he's
good
very
actor.
good. He's a good. He's like a really good guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Just you just kind of watch him, and you can just kind of see that. How old is he now?
He's in his mid-30s. Yeah, I will say this. I don't know if Vernon has the similar
I
experience.
don't know, I've only seen him once when they kept
Yeah.
because when the Heat come to town, they train at USF.
I'm kind of prejudiced because I played basketball. I wasn't very good, but I did play a little bit in college. And basketball players, to me, of the team sports of the big three, football, baseball, basketball, are the easiest to deal with. Without
The
NBA
players?
The NBA players, I've never once run into a rude, except for Adrian Danley, the only guy I ever ran into. And he was just having a rough day. Next day, he apologized. The next time he came to town, he apologized for being rude. Can you believe that?
Really?
Yeah. So that's NBA players are just more easygoing. I think it's because they get all
He
their.
send you candy and flowers just to.
Yeah, he blew me off for an interview, and he goes, "Oh, I'm real sorry. The last time I was in town, I was having a rough time."
They remember.
Yeah.
Well, it's good they remember that.
Yeah, I mean, I was impressed. He remembered.
Yeah, the big three. Yeah, if you include the big four, hockey hands
Oh,
down.
hockey's the
Hands
easiest. Yeah.
down.
And I
Best
wonder,
guys
I
to deal
wonder
with.
why that is. Maybe it's because all the Canadians.
I'm guessing.
Small town.
I'm going to
Yeah.
totally take a guess, shot in the dark. But I'm guessing because it doesn't get as much press. So these
Oh.
guys, they want to get out as much as
Maybe that's
possible.
it.
So make friends with the media.
Well, also, one thing about hockey.
Also, their demeanor is always just never too high, never too
Yeah,
low. Just kind of
yeah.
even keel all the time.
Well, I think also a lot of these kids that played had to have their parents take them to the rink all the time, and so a lot of them grew up in these really happy hockey homes
Oh.
where the parent because you do have to really
And from small towns.
and for small towns.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said for small
That's a
town
good-
living.
that's a good-
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. Very good
Yeah.
point. I like that. So, okay, what do you guys think about the Seahawks getting punished for practice violations of hitting too hard during practice? Do you remember?
They've been they had been warned before. So this is not the first
But
time.
who's punishing him, and who is meting out the punishment? And how did they figure that out? They were
Because
hitting
all practices are videotaped and sent to the league.
Oh, is that right?
All practices.
Well, they said a couple of the I mean, I heard that a couple of players had like turned them in.
What?
And I'm thinking,
That's
that'd
not
be
good
a
for
little,
team
yeah,
unity.
that's not good
No.
for
So they get fined or something?
yeah, the team gets fined, but it's
Well, I mean, yeah, every team's got a player rep. I mean, it's all union.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a violation that takes place, especially one where a player's health is in jeopardy, then you've got to
so
step up.
is the whole idea just don't get hurt before the season, or they like don't have practice pads on? I mean, I'm trying to understand. It's like
You shouldn't be hitting too hard in practice anyway. You
not
shouldn't
too hard. I mean, you got obviously
You got to tackle, but you can't. I don't
But
know.
how do you determine that?
Yeah, how do you determine what's a real hard hit that shouldn't be in practice?
I
and
think
what's-
you know when you know.
Yeah, I
You
guess
know, when
do.
someone's head's knocked off the swivel, you know.
The guy knocks the guy's helmet
Yeah.
off. I remember Jack Tatum knocked Sammy White's helmet off during a Super Bowl, and it was just, I mean, it was like watching a guy being decapitated. It was incredible. And Sammy White just gets up and walks right back to the huddle, picks his helmet up, no big deal. And Jack Tatum stands over him before he does it. He goes like this, points at him. I loved it.
Well, I was watching something on I think it was ESPN. They were talking about the most embarrassing moments type of thing for players, and this guy had knocked someone's helmet off and was down at the goal line, and then he takes his cleat and he puts it on the guy's head and
Ooh.
steps on real quickly
Ooh.
and gash in his head.
Jeez. I remember
It wasn't Nakamadan Sue. It wasn't
Yeah.
him.
It wasn't, no, it wasn't him.
Sue actually kicked the guy, wasn't that it? He kicked the guy in the head.
He stepped on a guy too.
Yeah, the guy. Yeah, he's kind of a crazy guy. Remember Steve Young lost his helmet once he was taking off running
Yeah.
without the helmet?
Well, that'll make you run faster.
Oh my
You
God.
don't want to get caught
Oh,
on something like that.
yeah.
I still remember that great run against the
Vikings.
Vikings.
Oh my God.
Gets away again.
Gets away
again.
Lon Simmons with the great call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sort of like the old Fran Tarkin.
Young is exhausted. Touchdown 49ers.
Hey, can you imagine how much breath that would take out of
Oh
you
my
to run
God.
like that?
Well, they needed that win to get into the playoffs. They did.
Yeah.
They won that year with only, I think they lost 6 times in the regular season. They won the Super Bowl that year.
I wonder if they had to, or if they were to tape, like measure. He probably ran about 120 yards.
Probably.
Back and forth. Okay, one more quick thing, and then we'll go to our final commercial break. Ritchie Incognito.
Lovely man, by the way. Let's invite him over for dinner, shall we?
Do you think he's worth the risk? They're
Sure.
talking.
Interesting
sounds
guy.
like
Actually,
funny.
he'd probably make a good.
He's one of the top NFL.
Yeah.
You put him in any. He's one of the top NFL linemen.
Yep, he'd probably be a great guest on Sports Econ 101.
Okay.
We should try to get him.
I don't mean the risk of having him on the show.
Okay.
but I mean, obviously,
Just make sure he's on the phone, not here in person. And then we can insult him.
Yeah.
You bully!
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is obviously he can physically he can play.
Mm-hmm.
So the question about the risk is it going to be a hindrance for the team? Because you have to have some camaraderie.
Is he playing for anybody right now?
I don't know if he's got.
Who's picked him up?
I don't think anybody has.
I did not know. I know there were some teams fishing around, but I don't think he's officially been signed by anybody.
Somebody will pick him up. He's too good not to be picked up.
And that's the same question like Michael Sam. I mean, he's showed that he can play.
The thing is, in defense of Ritchie Incognito, again, he may be a jerk, but outside of the bullying thing, what has he done off the field that's so terrible? He hasn't done
Anything.
Yeah,
No.
I mean he's a proven NFL quality
Yeah.
lineman.
He hasn't gotten drunk. He hasn't beaten up any women. He hasn't, shown brat. It's a sad thing about the 49ers. They have all these guys now with it.
Yeah, what's the deal?
I don't know.
League leading 10 arrests
Yeah.
since 2012.
And they were supposed. And Trent Baalke and Jim Harbaugh came in there and talked, we're going to get guys of high character. Well, obviously they've swung and missed a few times there. Jeez.
And reputation being as it is, you would have thought in this way, you would have thought the Raiders would be the ones.
Yeah, the Raiders.
Yeah.
The Raiders have a bunch of choir
You don't
boys.
hear a thing.
Oh my God, the Raiders have a bunch of choir boys.
And now you got a God-fearing rookie running the team. As
I love it.
There you go,
Derek Carr.
Yeah.
All right.
From Fresno State.
Okay, guys, getting to our third and final commercial break here. Eddie Plank was the first left-hander to win 300 games. Who was the second left-hander to accomplish this feat? This one you gotta. It's still considered modern era, but you gotta go back a little bit.
Okay.
All right, the first 3 emails gonna win a free 3-day United States Lighthouse Resort Edward SportsEcon101.com is the email to answer this question. Eddie Plank was the first left-hander to win 300 games. Who was the second left-hander to accomplish this feat? And again, don't touch that dial because Sports Econ 101 will continue.
I think it was a New Yorker, either Carl Hubler or Whitey Ford. That's my guess. One of those two.
Mm.
And I can't.
Yeah, because Gomez didn't get to 300.
Yeah, he didn't. Lefty Gomez. He's from the Bay Area. Was it his wife or his ex-wife, or not ex-wife, his widow wrote a really neat book about him a couple years ago.
I read it.
Yeah, good book.
I read it. Good book.
Nice lady too. Yeah, if you want to get a good guest on sometime, and we get Lefty Gomez's wife on, she'll tell you some. About 93, but she's sharp as a tack.
Really? Is that right?
Yeah, she's pretty sharp.
That'd be kind of fun to have.
Have an old gal. Yeah.
Where's she?
She lives in the city.
Got to be. Oh, she's in the city. She's not up
She's
here
in-
in Marin.
No, she had to move into an old folks home.
Okay.
But she's doing okay. You know, physically she's kind of run down. Mentally she's sharp as a tack. Little gal. So you know these little Italian gals, they live to be.
Yeah.
You know, she's Italian extraction. Little Italian gals and little Jewish gals, they live to be 100 easily.
Yeah.
They're feisty. They just it's like Daria. Daria will probably still be doing, Cron when she's 70. You know, if they keep her around.
Her kids are going to go to Redwood.
Are they?
Let's see. Her older kid is.
How long has she been at Cron? 10 years, maybe?
Oh no. She came to Cron. She came to Cron. 98, 7,
okay.
something like that.
It's been there a while then, huh?
Yeah.
By the way, next week we're supposed to have Tara Vanderveer.
Oh, great.
Oh, is that right?
I love Tara.
Yeah, and then Art Spander.
Pronounced Tara.
Tara,
Yeah.
that's right. Tara Taboomtie. That's what I always call her. Tara Taboomtie. Stanford won again today. Let's give a cheer to Tara Vanderveer.
She's won everything there is to win
Yeah,
in women's college
she's
basketball.
won it all. The only thing that's frustrating for her, she won 2 titles and hasn't won one in about 20 years, but she's always right there.
Her last title was 1992.
Yeah.
She won with Jennifer Azzi in 1990, won again in 92, and has been to several Final Fours and championship games, but not won the big one.
I used to go out with one of her players years ago, back in the late 80s. One of her first teams, I went out with the center on one of her first teams.
That's what you said.
This big, tall Jewish gal, I can't remember.
What's her name?
Tall and Jewish. That's what usually doesn't go
I don't,
together.
I can't remember the gal's name. Really nice gal, really smart.
Dude, you dated her.
I dated her like 4 times, but I can't remember her name. It was like over 20 years ago. My brain is.
You have to ask Tara about that.
Yeah, I have to
Okay.
ask her.
Guys ready?
Yeah.
Finish this up.
There we go.
Edward Brown here, back with Sports Econ 101. We're continuing on.
That's right.
We've got
Let-
Bruce
let
McGowan
us-
and Vern
let-
Glenn
let us
with us.
continue.
Okay, here's
Down
our,
the stretch we come.
Down the stretch they come. Brown in the lead, but Glenn is pulling in from behind. And here
Crowd
comes
goes
McGowan on the
wild.
outside.
Okay, and here is our third and final commercial break trivia question. Again, the theme is baseball records. Eddie Plank was the first left-hander to win 300 games. Who was the second left-hander to accomplish this feat?
Bruce?
Well, Eddie Plank was a great pitcher with the old Philadelphia A's. I'm going to say either Carl Hubble of the New York Giants or Whitey Ford of the New York Yankees.
And I would say that you're kind of in between those two.
Oh, in between.
What years
Somebody in the
was?
40s then, huh?
Yeah.
Mm.
Somebody who was
1941.
a left-hander in the 1940s. That's when he broke the 300.
Correct.
Wow.
And
I'm
his
drawing a blank.
name is
I'm blanking.
synonymous with being a left-hander.
Oh, Lefty Grove.
Lefty Grove.
Lefty Grove.
Lefty
Yeah,
Grove.
that was a trick one because I was going to say Lefty Gomez, but Lefty Gomez didn't win 300.
No.
Although Lefty Grove and Lefty Gomez are both in the Hall of Fame.
And they're both named Lefty.
And Lefty
Now,
Gomez
who
is
would
from
name their kid Lefty? I don't understand.
I don't understand that. I don't get that.
I mean,
Where
what
does
happens
that
if they
come
turn out to be
Well,
right-handed? I
Lefty
just-
Gomez, really, come on. His name was Vernon. Good
from?
name.
That's right.
That's right.
And,
And
he signed autographs with his right hand.
And he's got a field out in Western Marin named for him.
That is true. Okay, here's our thoughts for the day. At 120 miles per hour, a Formula One car generates so much downforce that it can drive upside down on the roof of a tunnel.
Whoa!
And I'd like to see that.
Wow!
A little surprised, but okay. And here's a very important fact to know. All Major League Baseball umpires must wear black underwear while on the job.
What? Seriously?
I I
Who
don't make these things
monitors
like
this kind of
yeah,
thing?
That's a good
Was
point.
there like a guy in the clubhouse monitor? Have you got your black underwear on today?
It's like when you're kids, make sure you're all wearing cuffs.
Come
You
on.
know? Have you
Jeez.
heard that?
No, I'm not.
That's crazy.
Well, maybe it's because the pants don't want anything showing through the pants or anything crazy like that. Okay. Again, I want to thank my co-hosts Bruce McGowan and Vern Glenn. And tune in next week to Sports Econ 101 because we're going to be discussing sports topics from a business perspective. Our guest next week is Tara Vandermeer.
Tara Taboomtier.
Tara Vanderveer, Stanford Cardinal.
Yeah.
Oh, is that who she is?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have to talk about NFL Week 1.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yep.
That's right.
Niners against the Cowboys, Raiders against the Jets.
Awesome. All
And
right.
the Seahawks against the Packers.
All right. So stay tuned. We will be back next week.
Yeah. You didn't say goodnight, America.
Hold on. Shoot. Hold on.
Hang on,
I wonder if I could.
you can edit it in, can't you?
Darn it. Hold on.
Darren Peck can edit it in.
Let me see if I can do
I'd
that.
have Vernon say goodnight, America.
Yes, of
Come on.
course. Hold on here. Okay.
Just redo the whole thing. Just redo the whole thing again. Just redo the whole
Can
thing.
I just say good night, America, and then after you, and edit it after you say next week?
Yeah. Let me. Yeah, it's funny. I've never done it this way.
Why don't you just
and-
record the whole segment over?
Not the entire.
No.
It wasn't that long anyway, was it?
Oh.
2 minutes long.
No, you know what? Hold on a second. Yeah, we'll make this really easy. I'll just make a sixth segment.
Yeah, there you go. A 6th segment. I like it. Oh, I feel like I want to take my midday nap.
Yeah.
It's been that kind of a day.
The
The
weekend was like
the
that.
day after I anchor the late show, I'm just out of it for at least
Yeah.
half the day.
I hear you, man. Still haven't recuperated from doing 3 mornings last week for
right.
walk off.
Oh, we had to do your 3 a.m.
Yeah, what time's the alarm go off?
3:30.
And do you have an ISDN line at your?
No, I jump in
gotta go
my
ahead.
Guys
get a
in,
cup
baby.
of coffee, jump in the car, and drive to work. And I'm there by 4:30 and on the air by 5:20.
Do you stop by Hunt's Donuts on the way in?
Oh,
I
love
do, as a matter of fact.
that. I love
How did
that.
I know that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go.
Give me that sugar rush.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here.
Sometimes they'll throw it in the microwave and heat it up.
Yeah.
So they come out nice and gooey.
Nice and gooey. Gooey.
Okay, I'm just gonna go with it. Thanks for listening. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm your host Edward Brown. We'll see you next week.
Good night, America.
So long.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
All right.
I'm
That's
going to go
funny.
over to my in-laws and go